Hello and welcome back to some more F1 2020 and part 36 of our My Team Career Mode with Jordan GP. We are in the midst of Season 2 and today we have our second 50% race of the season at the Belgian Grand Prix. Things have been going rather well recently. If you have a look at our most recent results, we haven't finished outside of the top 5 since China earlier in the season, and that is absolutely amazing. And as you can see with Lewis Hamilton, the championship leader, for the first time in 2 seasons really, he is slipping up. He finished 17th in France, and he's finished 15th in Great Britain, only 6th in Hungary, and what was once a near 100-point lead in the championship is now down to 34 over his teammate Valtteri Bottas, and actually is only 55 points ahead of us in the championship, where we're third. And if we can continue our form, we've won 3 of the last 6 races. If we can maybe win 5 of the last 9, potentially we're in there with a big chance of winning the championship, which would be completely unexpected and absolutely amazing. Sergio Perez is doing a great job as well. 3 podiums in a row for him. It's only a matter of time before he wins his first race. We did have an interview with Will Buxton, which I will splice in just before we see how we get on in qualifying, and that was very positive. You know, I think people are really behind this Formula 1 team at the moment. We're second in the Constructors. Don't think we can catch up to Mercedes, but I think we are very much able to secure second in the Constructors this year, and I would say we're massive favourites for the Constructors next year as it stands, as long as there's not a massive R&D reset that really, you know, messes us up. I think we'll be very much thereabouts next season. But we've got the Belgian Grand Prix today. Qualifying is going to be very important, so how about we go and see how we got on.
Here we are in the HQ of our newest Formula 1 team. We've got an awful lot to talk about, so let's jump straight in. Your second driver looks to have been really busy recently. It's always good to see that level of dedication, isn't it? Sponsors seem to be climbing over one another to get their name onto your car. What do you plan on investing that extra money into? You've got one of the top teams in the Constructors' Championship. What's your secret to scoring those points? Your team's had their first win in Formula 1. Is this a sign of things to come? Sergio Perez always seems to get the best out of the car he drives. Will you be able to give him a championship-winning car? It's been wonderful to spend some time with you. Best of luck out on track.
Here we come then, up to the line. It's a 1:42.3, and that's only 7th for now, so that might not be enough to get through to Q2. Bit of a disappointing lap really. Don't see what was that wrong with it. Well, a much better lap on our second run around, 3/10 quicker, but still that's only 5th place, so just something we're going to have to think about. Well, comfortably through to Q2 in the end, but maybe our pace isn't that good here because Perez was only 12th as well. We'll try and get through on the medium tyres, but might be hard pressed. Well, here we come up to the line. It's a 1:41.6, which is quickest for the moment, and 3/10 quicker than our lap time in Q1, so much better there. And that might be enough to get through to Q3. Well, there you go. Through to Q3 we go. Unfortunately, nobody else has gone on the medium tyres, so we're going to be out on our own, really, on this strategy. Maybe it's the right one, maybe it's the wrong one, but look how close it was between everyone, really, all the way up to Kimi Räikkönen was within a second, and even Mick Schumacher was only 1.2 seconds off. Who's going to take pole position? Well, here we come then, up to the line. What's it going to be? A 1:41.8, 2/10 slower than what we did on the medium tyres last lap. It's just very confusing, the pace of the car at the moment. 4th position is where we are. I mean, maybe it's that these tyres aren't lasting the whole lap. Well, this could be a very, very good lap. We're purple in the middle sector, and what an exit we got. Although hitting the grass there is not going to help. 8/10 up we are at the moment. I've no idea how high that's going to take us. But here we come, round the final corner, up to the line. What's it going to be? It's a 1:41.1.
Fantastic.
And we've got pole position. Well, that was a clutch lap right at the end. Whew.
And with
that was very
complete,
close.
Let's review our top 3 today. The captain, Ocon, and Charles Leclerc. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
Well, look at that. Esteban Ocon finishes 2nd. Wow, Leclerc 3rd as well in a Ferrari that's not as quick as us or the Mercedes. Hamilton only 4th. And Bottas mustn't have qualified for Q3. I didn't even notice that. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. No Red Bulls, obviously, in the top 10 either. And, you know, you could say, yeah, you're 5/10 ahead of your teammate. But actually, did they get the most out of the car? Ocon shouldn't be 2nd. But anyway, I guess we'll hand over to David Croft and Anthony Davidson for this 2021 Belgian Grand Prix.
Welcome along then to the Belgian Grand Prix, the race that gave us the maiden victory for the Jordan team in 1998. And in the same team, the phenomenal debut of a young Michael Schumacher. There's always something special around one of the many corners of this fan-favourite circuit. Spa-Francorchamps today, a circuit that spans 4.35 miles. There are tons of elevation changes along the way too. 19 corners making up this circuit, with 9 of those to the right and the remaining 10 to the left. This track is a great one for fans of pure speed. The average lap speed comes close to a whopping 145 miles an hour. Now, Anthony Davidson, I wonder, might we be in for some early pit stops today from the midfield teams, all trying to put some pressure on or disrupting things for the leaders up front?
If you're in the middle of the pack, you know, you got your own race to run. I don't think they're going to be thinking about causing trouble up front. However, closer to the head of the pack, don't be surprised to see some split strategies. If you're running 2nd and 3rd, for example, bringing one car in for an undercut while leaving the other one out there longer can put a lot of pressure on the leader and maybe force them into an error.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. The captain lines up on pole position with Esteban Ocon alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Hamilton, Sergio Perez, and Vettel, Ricciardo, Kvyat, Sainz, and Lance Stroll, Bottas, Verstappen, Alexander Albon, and Gasly, Raikkonen, Schumacher, Lando Norris, and Kevin Magnussen, Grosjean, Giovinazzi, Latifi. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And George Russell ends our grid lineup. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Well, here we are down on track then for pole position. Longest formation lap of the year. 22 laps there will be around here. We're starting on the medium tyre, so we're going to be going long into the race. It's all going to be about trying to stay ahead of Ocon, It's amazing, really. The last 50% race we did, we went toe-to-toe with Daniel Ricciardo. So Renault are incredibly quick at the moment. I don't know where their pace has come from, but they're looking fantastic.
Let's see if we can do it again today.
So there is a possibility of doing a 2-stop. You know, we're looking at maybe doing mediums then hards, and that's looking to be 10 seconds quicker than doing the 2-stop. But either which way, I think we want to be, you know, going reasonably far into the race. We could do 2 soft tyre stints if we went 10 laps into the race on these medium tyres. Shall we have a little look, in fact, at what that would do to the strategy? So if we change that to soft, so yeah, that's looking pretty close to the previous strategy. So interested. Yeah, I think soft hard is probably the way it's gonna go, and or medium hard, sorry, and we've got the option to do that because we're starting on the medium tyre. So I think there's going to be split strategy today, which is going to make it really interesting. We're going to stick a little bit of extra fuel in the car. So without further ado, let's get into it. Lights out. And away we go on this formation lap.
You'll have a bit more grip than that on the start, but we need to warm the tyres properly now. Make sure you get some heat into the brakes as well.
Now, one of the interesting things for today is that it's very cloudy, so probably quite cold conditions compared to what we're used to. So, you know, there's a big possibility that the soft tyres won't warm up, and you know, equally it could be the mediums that don't warm up, or the hard tyres that don't warm up. So that's all a consideration today. Do we want to risk the hard tyres? Yeah, it's going to be very interesting, and I'm very happy
for the time being. Conditions looking good.
That there's surely going to be some split strategies out there. You know, everybody's starting on the soft tyres, so what tyre do they go on to next? Do they go on to the mediums? Do they go straight onto the hards and try and take it to a 1-stop? If they do, when we come in, we're going to have much fresher hards. I mean, we'll be able to basically see the picture of what's happening to the race because we're going much further on than the soft tyre runners, of course. So we'll be able to react to that, and you know, whether we need to take risks or whatever. But I'm really looking forward to this. We had an excellent race in Belgium last year. And obviously it was heavy rain last year, and we came in and tried to make something happen with the dry tyres, and got the fastest lap. But here we come, lining up on the grid for the 13th round of the season. Can we win our second Grand Prix in a row and keep putting the pressure on Lewis Hamilton? Because if he doesn't finish in the top 5 again today, it's going to be crucial for the championship.
And watch for the lights.
So here we come. Everybody's lining up. Got to get off to a good start here. So here we go. Lights out, away we go here in Belgium. It's an excellent start off the grid for us. Ocon is having a little look around the outside, but it's a short run down to the first corner. Hamilton has got off to a very good start. He's up to 30s past Ocon. Perez still in 5th as we go up Eau Rouge and through Pouan for the first time. And here comes Ocon. This is going to be his chance in the slipstream. But surely that Renault engine is just not as quick as this Mercedes beast in the back of our car. And now we've got the chance to really make our chassis do the work through this middle sector. Try and get out of that slipstream window, because that is what is dangerous around here, especially when you're on the medium tyre compared to the soft tyre. But we've held first position, which is exactly what we needed to do. And hopefully it's a sign of things to come. Well, here comes Ocon. He's got DRS. Is he going to be able to pass? I don't think so. I think that Renault engine is tapping out at the end of that straight. A little bit of a corner cut there, which didn't give us any advantage at all. But once you're committed to the corner, that's kind of what happens. But it's very encouraging that he's not being able to pass, even though he's in the 1 second window. Makes me think as long as we don't make big mistakes, we're going to win this.
Target soon. Don't wait too long to turn the engine down. Okay, the gap behind is 3.0 seconds.
Well, coming on to lap 7 of this Grand Prix, then Hamilton and Leclerc have come into the pits. Ocon is still 3 seconds behind us. Once we got out of the 1 second window, we've been able to pull away from Ocon a little bit over the last few laps, which I think has been very useful. And we're now just in sort of management mode, trying to manage the amount of fuel we're using.
We may see some rain. ETA is about 15 minutes.
Well, that's very interesting, isn't it? Rain is potentially coming in 15 minutes time. Are we gonna survive?
Give us the best in lap you can.
Well, here we come on to lap 10, which is of course our in lap, and you know, some cars have managed to take their soft tyres pretty far into the race. I've noticed that Ocon has gone on to the hard tyre, so he's matching our strategy really. Leclerc, on the other hand, is going for the two-stopper. He's on the soft tyres, so he's going to be trying to get ahead of, well, probably of us, and try and get 20 seconds of a gap, but I just don't think he's got enough time to really pull that off.
At the moment, the car behind us is lapping faster than us by around 1 second per lap.
Here we come into the pits then. Now where are we going to come out? We should come out ahead of Ocon. I wouldn't imagine that we wouldn't. And well, hopefully we come out in front of Leclerc as well.
Release.
We're in 2.8 seconds.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Well, that wasn't an ideal pit exit. Looks like we've got away with it, and we are just ahead of Charles Leclerc on these brand new hard tyres. So we've got newer hard tyres than the folks behind. I think this should be a reasonably straightforward victory. Now, what could be the complication in all that is if the rain comes. Well, Charles Leclerc's come into the pits now to take his second pit stop. Didn't manage to pass us, so currently we're on for the Grand Slam. Pole position, fastest lap, led every lap, and of course win the race. But that rain is still coming, apparently. Well, we're on lap 16 of this Grand Prix, and as you can see, it has clouded over a lot. We're expecting rain very, very shortly. The question is, how heavy is it going to be? Where's it going to be on track? Because obviously with Spa, it could be anywhere.
There is a fault
What's
to
happened?
the DRS. You
Oh,
won't
it's
be able to
DRS.
open the rear wing. We're working on a fix. Stay out.
Oh, I was worried there that we were going to have an engine problem or something, which would have been devastating, but we're managing the gap nicely to Ocon behind. You know, he's catching up some laps but falling behind others, so I think we got him covered. But it's all going to be about how heavy this rain is and whether we'll need to come in, because this is a long lap if you're on the wrong tyre. Well, rain is falling. Rain is falling, certainly in this part of the track. I don't know about anywhere else. It's not heavy enough to make a big difference at the moment, but we've got to keep an eye on it. I mean, look at that, we've put in a purple middle sector all of a sudden, so it's sharpened the mind. But this is going to be a really interesting final 4 laps with the rain falling.
This lap of the race.
So Sergio Perez has just put in the fastest lap. He's up to 3rd now, ahead of Lewis Hamilton, and he's going to be continuing his streak, you would think, of 4 consecutive podiums it'll be, if he manages to get past, or stay in 3rd position, I should say. Or maybe he's going to try and get past Ocon as well, and it'll be the 2nd consecutive one too.
We're still happy that we're on the right tyres at the moment.
That's very encouraging to hear. We're on the right tyres, although a little bit of a slide through there. Definitely getting wetter. Well, we've got 1 lap to go. I'll tell you what, we're struggling massively here. Ocon, within a second now. We've lost pretty much 5 seconds in the last few laps. And this is very, very worrying. I'm going to stick it into Rich for the Camel Straight. We're sliding about. Now, I don't know whether DRS is still enabled. It obviously is. And there goes Ocon having a look, trying to get his first race victory, but we're just trying to hold it on the racing line. It's so wet out there. I don't know how Ocon is doing so well, especially since his tyres are a lot older and you would imagine a lot more worn. But we're struggling now, but Ocon isn't, and this is now definitely a 3-way race. And we just got to try and keep it planted in the middle of the track. We go a little bit wide there. I'm not sure we're going to win this. We're driving so hard here through Blanchimont, and we've ran out of ERS energy. We come down into the bus stop chicane for the final time. The checkered flag is out, and we come onto the straight. It's a drag race to the finish, and we managed to just about win it, but that was far too close.
wasn't always plain sailing today, but a very important win nonetheless. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
A show-stopping performance from the three drivers approaching the podium right now. It's been an interesting Grand Prix, that's for sure. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. It wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
It's got to be Valtteri Bottas, a commanding performance that I think had the audience's eyes glued to him for the majority of the race.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. No change in the top spot, but with today's points, their hold on the lead is getting weaker. Meanwhile, good work from the owner drivers team this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
Well, what a race, and what a finale. A second between first and third as we come over the line. Perez got the fastest lap as well, so he gets the extra point. Vettel finishes fourth ahead of Hamilton in the end as well. Hamilton fifth, Bottas sixth, Ricciardo seventh, Stroll eighth, Verstappen ninth, and Kvyat in 10th. So Charles Leclerc seemed to be the only guy that did the two-stopper. And well, Albon and Grosjean not finishing the race. I mean, Albon's had the Bottas season from last year, but looking at the championship standings, 40 points behind Lewis Hamilton now. You know, if Lewis Hamilton retires from a race, it's very, very possible that we can be right up there now. Even Perez is within 100 points. You know, it's still an 8-way chase for the title at the moment, and Daniel Ricciardo very much involved in that fight. Constructor standings, it says we've moved up, but actually pretty sure we were in second at the start of this video, but hey, it doesn't matter. What does matter is that we've won the Grand Prix. We've won 2 in a row now, and Italy coming up, that's going to be another great chance for us to win. So if you've enjoyed that, make sure you leave a like down below. It really does help out, means a lot to me as well. Subscribe to the channel for weekly F1 content on Tuesday.